We'll be saying, "Oh, it's so hot out there."
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
By the time this thing airs, the reruns, people are going to forget about this winter. I guarantee you.
Like,
and they're going to be.
Is it hot enough for you?
They're going to be bitching about the hot air and the humidity and everything else.
So here's the thing, right? You know, we were talking before. Weather was always like a small talk item when you're waiting in line to grab a coffee or something. Somebody it's a little wet out there today, you know.
Yeah,
but for somebody like you, right?
Yeah, well,
do you hear that all day?
I hear it all
what's
day.
going on with the weather? You know?
And you know, it can be annoying sometimes, but I tell my wife anyway. All right, well,
this is your chosen profession, so you can't get too. You know.
Yeah, but you know what's something I tell people? Go to WestIslandWeather.com if you want to know the
everything
latest.
You want to know about it.
But they say, but we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. We want to hear it from you,
the
personally.
captain of the mothership.
I'm like the personal weather guru. So
well, we've joked before. Obviously, you've worked in radio too.
Yeah, radio, TV, all the media.
So when we do have a serious storm, I know WBSM will give you a call and so forth, and the local station. And you'll go on and they'll ask you questions about why this is happening or why it's not and so forth. So obviously that must be nice that you can take your expertise, your background, your knowledge, and answer your questions when a local outlet wants to know some answers, right?
I'll tell you what, Paul, you've been into radio, and I'll tell you, I've done many live productions over at BSM.
Right.
And it's quite a rush when you're out going live and you get these calls from people that really do. Some have some serious questions, and people listening, they're concerned. Some are even afraid. You gotta give out the information, try to calm people down, and it's one hell of a rush. You know, when the show's over and I'm on the way back to West Island,
right.
I say to myself, what did I just do? I mean, I'm still all wound up.
Are you going to have the same kind of rush when you pull out of here today? Or?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. While trying to get out down the South End into the octopus, you're going to get a rush anyway.
Well, that octopus is kind of an interesting...
Let's get back to the long-range forecast.
Right.
And these guys...
Farmer's Almanac kind of a thing, right? Throw that out?
Well, the Farmer's Almanac, that's an entertainment piece.
Right, so that we can throw that out. Listen to M.L.
Well, I'm just telling you, Southern New England, matter of fact, all of the East Coast, the National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center, CPC, they come out with a long-range forecast.
Right.
Now, you try to figure this out. I've been trying to figure this out for years. They show one part of the country above normal temperatures for the next 3 months.
Right.
This part of the country below normal temperatures, a little cold, a little bit of rain here, but when it comes to New England or the southern part of the East Coast, they say E, a big letter E. You have an equal chance of above or below average conditions. What is that?
Wow, that's a pretty interesting comment.
What
does that
mean?
Right.
It negates. Why do a long-range prediction?
You have a 50-50 chance of it going either way, kind of a thing. Right,
so,
exactly. All right, let me ask you this, without getting too political at all. Climate change, do you have thoughts on this climate change?
Well, put it this way. The big weather punchline right now, aside of climate change or global warming, if you will,
right.
I get that almost every day. The polar vortex, oh my goodness.
Right, so what do you think about that? Is there some merit to these concerns? Or?
Well, put it this way. Back to the polar vortex is just another weather punchline. Polar vortexes have been around since the beginning of the Earth.
But you're talking about the frozen...
cold air that has come down this winter by the evil polar vortex. That's always
all right, so
oscillated.
You don't see a lot of difference. Not really?
That's always happened.
What about the... I was mixing up the polar vortex with the polar ice cap.
Well, they're all one of the same.
What about the polar ice? I mean, the idea that, hey, that could melt.
Well, put it this way.
What do you think about that? You don't think so? I'm glad to hear this, actually.
Well, it's global warming, in my opinion, and I'm just giving my opinion.
Right.
We're too early in the game to look at all the numbers to really ascertain what the significance is of global warming, because 150 years of records is a millisecond in global time.
In the grand scheme of things, right.
You give me maybe 400 or 500 years, we may have a rough idea that the cycle is something significant that's going on, but
they say
I don't have enough to work with.
But 1 degree in 100 years, is that
that's nothing.
That's a little drop on the...
The Earth wobbles on its axis. Besides, we don't have the
Don't tell me that. It's making me, next time when I'm sleeping and I feel a little something, there goes the Earth wobbling on its axis. What does that mean?
Well, you know why? The Earth isn't even perfectly round. It's actually shaped like a pear.
Really?
It's not perfectly round.
I never knew that.
So, and the atmosphere...
All my years of schooling, nobody ever told me the Earth's not really round. I know it's not flat.
No, but in some places it may be. Maybe after the show it will be. But you have to keep in mind, as far as the Earth is concerned...
It's shaped like a pear.
Well, it's not a perfect ball. And, you know, the atmosphere on the Earth that affects all our weather globally and global warming, if you want to call it that. If you do a ratio, the atmosphere of the Earth is equivalent to the skin of an apple. It's that thin.
Right.
So, and all that action in that little layer is what is determining our fate globally.
I hate to use this phrase, but
we're out of time. Don't tell me.
I think we've only touched the tip of the iceberg, ML.
Well, listen, if all the icebergs were to melt, our sea level would rise 175 feet around the world. Well, New Bedford would be gone.
Well, because 170,
So a lot of places, but you know, I don't see that happening. However,
I'm glad to hear that.
I got one guy, the guy at Earl's Marina, who's into tides big time.
Yeah.
He's jumping up and down because he says in the past 5 years, the water's come in his parking lot at high tides 2.5 inches more than it has from 5 years prior. So,
well, thank you very much for coming down. It was a very quick half hour.
Really? Boy, that was it. So we have to come down.
Sometimes just because it went by quick doesn't mean it wasn't high quality.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
It's
like a root canal, right? Okay.
M.L Baron has been our guest here on New Bedford Connections. We're definitely going to have him back. We got to go.
Yeah, this was fun.
We'll see you next time right here on Channel 95. Take care.